Okay, so let me quickly connect wise. So for this one, the focus is going to be this thing. And it has like an additional. I did a thing for this additionally, which I'll try and cover as quickly as possible. So, let's get this out of the way, as it's quite overwhelming for everything. And so the sound for it is quite simple. So there's not much layering going on, but it's a bull roarer. Right, so it's probably common knowledge in in sound design, in the sound design world, but yeah, it's this. Again, forgive me if I'm getting this wrong, but it's like aboriginal. I'm not sure whether it's an instrument or a weapon or how it was used in their culture, but it really emits like this interesting sound, and I managed to find an interesting recording of it on Freesound. So it's this one. Right, so it's mic'd up really nice. So it's like kind of panning as well, which is quite convenient for this type of thing. And so I went with two things. So I noticed, I mean, while I'm revisiting this, I have these, and I know I swapped the left and right channel on the other channel, probably for like to accentuate like the difference, because I'm using the same recording, but I'm using like trying to use the like left mic as my right mic, and to like pick it up to kind of maybe defer between these two and kind of aid the pattern that I'm getting here. Because this was manually put up, and I'm getting kind of a pattern that's repeating, and like a large sound file that's looping that I'm able to put in twice. And so what's giving the whole thing, well, what's probably like modulating it the most are these two instances of brow motion. And so, and I hear I'm using a preset, and the only difference is like you can see that they're both basically synced up, but I wanted to blend these together and kind of like, here it's mono, but it will be more apparent when I disable these. Right? It's kind of good. So I'm getting these like two brow motions working together, whereas I'm like, you can see this green here and this orange here. I'm using only like, this is set to 0 here and the other one is set to 0 here, as they're kind of going, you know, around like the stereo field and giving this really cool effect. But again, it was my decision, heavy-hearted, to put it to mono, because it would be too distracting in the overall mix, you know. So aside from like processing like without it, this was again another decision like for the mix is this Pro Q3 set to this. Right, I needed more body. Right, like more low end, more for it to like have more you know, with low end, more weight, and for it to be just a bit more in the background. Then I'm crushing it with a bit of tape. I'm actually crushing it quite a bit. When it hits like a peak, like a louder peak, right? And yeah, and then so this one is right. This one is mono, and it's getting affected by this rotary, which again, I mean, this is great. You know, I feel this is very satisfying, but this kind of like, you know, when it introduces the cabinet and, you know, the two signals overlapping and it's mono, it they go in between each other, and it gives it an additional pattern and like a moment of phasing in the mix, which makes it more suitable because in the game, the thing, like the propeller, is in the hull, so it's not a thing that you should be able to hear as clear, right? um but yeah, and later on there is this like, I'll need to get its volume, so it would be, I think I went like a bit overboard. I wanted like an additional like send effect thing. It's barely audible here, right? But this is I can't remember my thought process here, but it was, you know, I mean, it sounds good, but again, it was like my like decision heavy-hearted for it to be a subtle thing in order to kind of get it to keep it in the whole thing. Okay, I think I'll find my propeller on the smaller one. Propeller small, so it's the smaller one is the thing with it. It's like, because this like big one is so central in the hub, and like in the hull of the ship, like this one is more okay. So this one is like offset, so it's like pan to the left, and like in the game, as you have like your attenuation curves, and you can set stuff to be relative to the player's position as you move, right, your camera angle, and like you can set for like the sound to pan as you move it. But here I really left the left propeller to be only audible on the left, and as you go right from it, it doesn't move to the right, right? And I feel that's like, again, if you look at the hull, and I'll put it here, it's like, I think it's a very small thing, and it's like, it makes it like, it doesn't, it's not even true physically how it like sounds, but I feel it's like a small detail that really makes the whole thing a bit more believable, and like, you know, it makes it more interesting. And so here, I don't remember, so this is okay, so this is like a drying machine cycle, but it's put into, is it this? Yeah. So I mean, right? Okay, so there's this plugin, grain scanner. It's this very, very interesting granular plugin, where the thing with it is that it's not like an effects processor, but you have to input a sound into it, and you have all these very, very cool things you can do with it. But like, the thing with this was like, when you set your, I'm not sure if it's just like a mode, or like the way that right? So let me put it without anything. Right. So here you can hear how it make like the LFO. It's set to layer and spread. Right. So it's modulating this, and it's basically scanning through the sample. But the way it's scanning, it's like it sounds like it's like a propeller. And you know, it sounded like a propeller. And what I did here while I was making this, I was listening to other stuff I already put in, so I would like kind of have like a rough idea of like how it will sit in the mix and correlation to other stuff. And here I put a cassette plugin to make it a bit more lo-fi. And I'm pushing it actually, you can see, quite hard against the cassette, so it's distorting. And yeah, I'm getting more gain, but okay. So here I'm using a bit of dispersion, so to kind of have it cut through the mix more. Here again, I feel I should. Oh, okay. So I have like a disperser here and I have this space modulator that's making it like a flange a bit around, as well as like have a bit of presence in the stereo field, like going around it. I'm probably making it, I'm making it mono, and here I'm making it go left as well. But and oh yeah, so the way this is working, and I remember now, is that so you can see at certain points this is set to a very low rate, and this LFO is set to BIN or bin, and, right? And it has like this kind of smooth option that it because usually like your bin would go A square A B, but here like the smoothing part kind of gives it an envelope. And what my idea was here is that kind of like from time to time that the propeller would kind of speed up or maybe be a bit broken with it. Like it kind of gives it, right? It's this like little constant thing. And then, right, something gets, maybe it gets unjammed or and then it returns. And here I you can see different takes of it, right? And so this nonlinear filter as well, it's like what's really cool is like when you drive it a bit, it really shapes the tone in a very nice way. Then this is giving it space. I assume, no, I'm not, I'm just giving it a bit of like feedback space delayed stuff. Then I needed to tame the whole thing again while listening to the other stuff. This was probably the way to go. And so here a take was done. And this loops, and it makes sense, especially in correlation to the big propeller. All right, so this was an episode on propellers. Let's do more. All right, thanks.